Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Hades, where we're starting in kind of an unusual situation here. Basically what happened is, I just had a run in which I was playing so poorly and it was going so poorly that I made the executive decision to just toss it and start over. And it was like 20 minutes long. I didn't want to post a 20-minute episode, but I also didn't want to start a run 20 minutes into an episode, so nothing noteworthy happened. I played badly and then died. So we're just gonna swing into a new run here. I guess we can get some new dialogue before we do so, though.
You're late with your report, Hypnos. Again. The dead, of course, can wait, but I'm less patient. Now explain yourself to me.
Oh, well, let's see. I woke up, I don't know what time it was, and I made sure that every shade had been accounted for, just like I always do, except I couldn't find my list at first. Can you believe it? I thought maybe my brother played a little prank, and so...
Get to the blasted point already. I don't have all day. Or not.
Sure, I was just getting to it, Master. My list, I found it over by the lounge. It was inside, but I am not the one who put it there, no sir. So I've been making positively sure it's not been tampered with, that it has everybody's name, cause of death, place of birth, former body weight, any previous allergies or medications.
Enough. Blood and darkness, that's enough from you. Just see to it the ledger of the dead is accurate, and get back to your post. Would that you could be more like your brother.
They sure are mentioning his brother a lot lately.
You've done it now, Hypnos.
This is basically what happened with the with Megara's sisters, right? They talked a lot more about the Furies for a couple of runs, and then we met them. So I'm betting that the character we haven't met yet is in fact Thanatos, which is I'm interested to see what this version of that is like. I don't actually know a lot about Thanatos as a mythological force. I just know that that's a name, basically.
I haven't seen you in a while, lad. You made it to Elysium last time, didn't you?
Well, if you don't count the one I just did, sure.
I did, Achilles. It's crawling with great warriors still looking for a fight. It's not exactly what I was expecting.
Your father's marshaled the most willing ones to deal with you. Doubtless there's much at stake in it for them, if but the pride of having done the task. Although I think that pride will always be their weakness.
Their pride? I'll remember that.
I mean, that's just true of everybody all of the time. I guess we did get a new roll on this. Let's see if there's anything interesting to renovate. Oh, yeah. Let's, well, hold on. Before I go buying any new music, maybe let's have a look at the deals guy. So yeah, basically I just, in Asphodel, I was like, this is going terribly, I'm going to start again. So we did... we're using... Well, hold on. We'll talk about weapons when we get in the weapon room.
About a softly spoken, gentle being under the guise of chaos. They approached me recently and offered me a boon of sorts.
Primordial chaos. Indeed, I know them well. They must have taken interest in your quest. I would advise that you beware their offerings, though know that chaos, while a trickster, is not a deceiver.
It's a fine line.
I understand, I think.
Hey Meg, how's it going?
It's embarrassing enough having returned here, much less to be seen talking to you.
Okay, short and to the point.
Oh, hi. Hello, Your Highness. Nice to see you. Thanks.
What did she just thank me for?
I've come for questionable deals.
Okay, I think we're in a place where it still makes sense for me to do this rather than spend that diamond on sheet music, although I do like the sheet music. I just want it to be playing the Minotaur fight song all of the time. Alright, so now we have all this darkness. I guess we just plow it all into God's Pride. Oh hey, we hit the top, finally. We can grab Olympian Favor, I suppose. We do have a key, and then start rolling darkness into that. Or we could save up and do some Fated Authority. Now that we have a good sense of what all the gods do and stuff, being able to change one god boon into another, or something like that, could definitely be useful. No, I think I'm going to go this way. You know what would be really cool? Is if we just never saw another base rarity boon ever again. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now we're talking.
That is a lot of increased rarity chance. So, the thing I decided with our weapons... is that we would use the remaining aspect of the spear that we had not unlocked yet, the Hades aspect. First of all, I reckon there's going to be some interesting dialogue when we approach Hades with it, provided that we do, in fact, get there. And secondly, I think this is it's an interesting idea. Right, so when we do our spin attack, foes take more damage. Foes that are hit by it take more damage from our attack and special for some amount of time. It doesn't actually say on here what the duration is, but it seems to be quite long, is what I learned. We can test this, I suppose. I'm assuming each of those pulses is a second. Yeah, look at that. It's not their entire life, but it's a long, long time. So it's a powerful thing. I think prioritizing hammers to try to get the faster charge up on the spin makes a lot of sense, but I mean, we always prioritize hammers, particularly at the beginning.
Maybe I should switch things up.
And then, what do we want to... What keepsake do we want to take here? Do we want to just bring the coin purse? If we want to get it leveled up to 3, we probably need to do that soon. You could see I was trying the thing with Dionysus, because I was thinking, well, you know, the spear attacks very quickly, so maybe we could stack up poisons. It was not really working. Alright. Let's try this. I did manage to finish Tartarus, and I got an entire diamond out of it. Hooray.
This ought to be interesting.
But this time we're going to do better. And really, any amount of good that I do is going to be better as far as you guys know, so you'll just have to trust me.
Perhaps the dead you stand against have long forgotten the experience of anguish and despair. I trust that you shall soon remind them for me.
Okay, interesting. What do we want? Do we want Ares' aid? I do think it's maybe... It's a little frustrating sometimes. It's not as large as I would like it to be. Our cast being the Blade Rift thing, is this good? So what do we need from a cast? We already have a good long-range attack. We have a reasonable amount of close-range AoE capability. I think Slicing Shot might actually make a lot of sense for us.
The War God's power.
Ooh, Chaos buff immediately. I like that. Did I seriously manage to not... I seriously managed to not dash around that? I just dashed forward twice. I was going to say, what do you mean locked? Yeah, alright.
Might as well.
This is promising, and it's letting us potentially skip a gemstone reward, which I feel alright about.
Alright then.
It is not unexpected that you consorted with the violent Ares and now bear his boon. He still worships me, you know. Yet I would say he does not know me very well.
Okay, boons can be even rarer. I mean, this is very low value, obviously. Maimed Favor is fine. If we take Maimed Favor here, the odds that we will ever see a common rarity boon are pretty low. But I feel like we already do a pretty good job of not getting a lot of common rarity boons. Or we could gain 35 health at the cost of maybe getting some garbage chamber rewards. I think I'm going to take this. 5 chambers is a long time, but also max HP is always good and is particularly good when you're using a melee weapon, so... So, as you might imagine... There we go, that's the thing I was trying to do last time. The subject of performance is on my mind a little bit right now. And I think that I'm sometimes a little unnecessarily harsh with myself. You know, I was expressing a lot of frustration at the end of the last run over a thing that wasn't really all that bad, right? Like, it wasn't the best we've ever done, certainly, but it was an okay result. Oh no, we only got all the way to the very end of the game before dying. No chamber reward choice here, which is, I mean, sort of a mixed blessing. And then, like, my frustration with feeling like I'm not doing well then leads to me being upset and making worse decisions. You get into that place where you're tilting and you're getting that negative feedback cycle of bad decisions causing bad decisions, which is obviously a thing I would like to avoid. Pretty much not using our gimmick at all in that room. What do you think? Right or left? Both of these Chaos Eyes are looking at that one in a very accusatory way. I'm going to check what's behind here.
Fight me.
But, like, it's very easy for me to get frustrated with myself, is my point. So I've been thinking about that a little bit as I was running through the last run and getting, like, audibly more annoyed with every mistake I made. And I think people have a tendency to hold themselves to unreasonable standards. And I don't know if this is, like, really directly relevant. That was pretty good for a blind choice. But it makes me think about a thing that my band teacher once told me in high school. I mean, left's been working out for us so far. Let's just keep going left. My band teacher was I have complicated feelings about him. He was kind of an asshole, but he did do a good job of turning us into a pretty good symphonic band. We were well rated in the area. We did well in competitions and stuff like MSBOA nonsense, and then like also people just liked to come and listen to us. Not just our parents, but you know, lots of people. Our school had a reputation for having a great band, and a lot of it was this guy. He was, like I said, an asshole, and sometime after I left, he apparently got into trouble for engaging in a sexual relationship with a student, you know, while married to someone else and everything, so I'm certainly not saying that everything comes out of this guy's mouth is gold or anything, but he knew some people who were professional musicians, like orchestral, symphonic type musicians. And he told us a story one time. Okay, Chaos Boon is no longer hindering us. I don't know that it really harmed us too much there. We only had to make one blind choice that ended poorly, so I think probably that was fine. And he was telling us a story about how he went to a performance one time, and afterward he went and saw his friend. He went out to dinner with this person.
Goddess Athena.
Ooh, Athena could be really good for us, actually. I hope she offers us her special boon here.
My warlike brother Ares reached you, didn't he? I've always found his conduct quite disturbing. At least it seems he's helping you for now.
Wait, I said special. I meant attack. I would like to see the attack boon here. We do not have access to the attack boon. I do like her dash, though. I think her dash is fine. I was thinking, with the attack boon, it's so much safer to do the spin attack while people are shooting at you from a distance. I'm gonna take Divine Dash, I think. So he went out to dinner with this person. And they were really bummed out. They were like, I can't believe it. I did such a terrible job tonight. And my band instructor was like, what are you talking about? It was everybody seemed to love it. I thought it was great. And what he learned over the course of that conversation, or I'm assuming what that conversation, you know, crystallized for him, because this does not sound like a thing you put together all at once, is that people who are really good at a thing have, as you might imagine, a higher standard for what constitutes a good performance. At some point, if you continue to get great at a thing, your standard for what constitutes a good performance gets higher than everybody else's. And so you can feel like you did a bad job while still doing well enough, because you did a bad job relative to what your best might be, or even what your average might be. But still, while doing that relatively bad job, do a good enough job that everybody else is still impressed. Everybody else still thinks you did great.
In the name of Hades.
And that no matter how good you get, you will never get to a place where you're always firing on all cylinders, always doing your best job. And that's like an insane standard to hold yourself to. You will drive yourself mad getting upset about that. But what you want to do is just get good enough at a thing that you still have bad days, but your bad days look good enough to everybody else. And I always think about that when I get frustrated with myself for doing a bad job. It's just going to happen. Even the best people in the world still do a bad job, what they feel is a bad job some of the time. Anyway, long-winded. Do we want to take your special inflicts doom? I think probably. We don't hit people a lot of times with our special very quickly. This is a lot of, like, a significant boost of extra damage per cast. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then 348 is absolutely enough to go to the shop. I should have checked more thoroughly for gold pots, because we're really close to a threshold. It turns out it doesn't matter. He's not selling enough stuff for it to matter.
Pleasure doing business.
That's a lot of damage. I think Divine Dash and Curse of Pain are both pretty sensible here. And I mean Slicing Shot too. The Rift hits people such a large number of times that even small increases end up being a large total amount of damage. But I'm going to grab that. So we're in sort of a spin, dash, attack, and then hit them with your special kind of place, I guess? I will say that even when I know that my spin attack is valuable, I still have a hard time making myself use it. There you go. That's what we want to be doing. That's a little tricky because of the fact that we are, after doing that spin dash, we're right on top of the enemy, right? And the special throw doesn't stagger people or push them back or anything. Maybe we could... Maybe we need, like, Poseidon Cast? Or we could even try to swap Poseidon onto our dash, maybe? I don't know. It might be worth trying to force a Poseidon thing, though. I think I'm going to take another Curse of Pain upgrade.
Thank you for your support.
Darkness and Gems. I'm going to take the Darkness, I guess. Neither one of these things are valuable at all. I do wish that my dash was longer. This is not a run where I need a larger number of dashes so much as I just need more range, because you really, like, you got to commit really hard on to get the spin charged up. Leaves you standing in one place for a very long time, it feels like. I mean, obviously against bosses, it's going to be a little bit easier to pull off because they tend to be, I don't know, larger and more stationary, I guess. I don't think we want to buy any of this. Maybe Keys was right there, I don't know. Ooh, Cascade.
Show yourselves.
We still have so many keys that I'm in a place where I'm currently thinking about keys as being worthless. Perhaps not entirely sensible. Yeah, if we switched over to the Poseidon Dash, I guess, to some degree, I'm assuming that we would, when we Poseidon Dash at people with the spin charged, the spin would still hit them as we were pushing them back. I think it looks like it would. Because it happens while you're still moving forward. It's not like you dash to the location and then it unleashes. We're definitely going for this.
Going in.
Yeah, it might be worth trying to force Poseidon and just overwrite this dash, as much as I do like the deflect dash.
Well then, in the name of Hades.
Big cast bonus, big rarity bonus, or your dash attack deals bonus damage. I think this is probably a good idea for us. I'm assuming that this will not increase the damage dealt by the spin when we use it while dashing. But I still use the dash attack with the spear all the time.
Very well, O son of Hades.
Okay, it dropped us in that shop, which is not totally ideal. I mean, we can buy the Hermes boon. Make sure that I'm looking at the Hermes boon. Okay. 20% dodge chance is great. I like that a lot.
Hi, you two.
Yeah, I know, I know.
How about no? No murder. No murder.
And then whack her on the nose with a rolled up newspaper. Or, I mean, I guess the place where her nose used to be, it looks like maybe she doesn't have one anymore. Oh, this is why she's so upset. Somebody murdered her nose. Yeah, man, it takes so long to charge up that spin. And it doesn't take her any time at all to charge up her stuff. That's the wrong sister I'm shooting at there. Holy crap, she just did like almost 100 damage to me there. Okay, so she's always going to do 2 of those attacks. She does the shoot, and then she does the dash. I really appreciate how long the spin debuff remains on them. Okay. So that, and then this. And you can't really follow her after the dash because she does the thing where she puts projectiles out to all sides. So basically, it's just going to be impossible to reliably hit her with the spin. We're just going to have to live without. Ow, man. Still not playing very well, turns out. This is a much harder version of this fight, to be fair. Working real hard to be fair to myself a little bit here.
This again. We're not finished.
Okay, so you can't actually avoid that by dashing. She does dynamically retarget at the moment. Maybe I dashed away and then I dashed back? She doesn't always do the second dash in the same direction as the first shot, though, does she? This is a nightmare. Just trying to reflect as much of that stuff back at her as possible. Ah! Yeah, okay, the dash... It's not that she dynamically retargeted my dash as I was doing it, it's that she just does those 2 things in the same direction. And I dashed out of her attack and then back into the second part of it.
Glad that's over.
But I just lost a Death Denied charge on the Fury fight, so that bodes ill for the continuing run. But I am not going to let my frustration from earlier, from the last run and also early in this run,
wouldn't dare
ruin things. You're going to remain calm.
I'm trespassing through your secret hall and going up.
Just one of those days. One of those days where the characters want to talk a huge amount, despite the fact that they don't have anything to say. So do we want to try to force the Poseidon buff? I think so. Let's see if we can get Poseidon's dash buff.
Should help.
Maybe it'll turn out not to be as good as I'm thinking, but seems like it'd be pretty good.
Heading up.
We just need to buy ourselves some breathing room, right? We need to hit with that spin, and then we need to not be directly on top of 10 enemies. That really sucks. That's not going to take my Poseidon buff rarity increase, is it? Sure looks like it's going to, because the other one we were offered is not Poseidon. Okay, no, it did not spend the charge. There's no reason to think that we can't make it. It's just embarrassing to lose a charge so early. Also, I'm gonna remember to use my my blade rifts, because they're actually pretty good. And the enemy sure is doing a great job of hitting me the instant the deflect from my dash is over. And then I dashed into the death bomb. Man. Okay. Just take a deep breath. Ah, that's bad. Don't dash into the lava. Okay, now there's 2 of the big droppy guys. Is it possible that there are too many enemies in this room? See, a smart player, a clever move there would have been to dash a little bit further to the side before recalling that spear so that it could have hit a whole extra group of enemies. I would like to argue that I was not, in fact, hit by that drop. I feel like not just with the little versions, but also with the boss level of that guy, it does seem like that effect is wider than its graphic is. Attacks that can deflect immediately activate Doom. So, this... How would we make use of this? right now, we apply our doom with the throw, and then we have to pull back the spear in order to be able to do an attack. If we swapped her deflect onto our cast, I guess that would be something. But right now, I don't think we actually get any benefit out of Merciful End. Like the way the attack and the way the attack and the special don't combo together well with the spear makes it very difficult to take advantage of this, I think. And I'm assuming that the Doom combo damage is bonus damage on top of what the Doom normally does. It seems like a really good effect in a general sense, just not with this weapon, maybe. So I think I'm going to take Blinding Flash. This does something. We hit people in the back all the time with the spear throw. We're planning to lose our deflect. This is actually just like a really bad selection of boons. Maybe we take Merciful End in just like hope that we figure out a way to make it okay. Again, what would it have to be? You'd have to do something that inflicts doom, and then you'd have to have something else available immediately to take advantage of it. And you'd have to have the ability to reapply the doom immediately. Because if it takes you even like a second and a half to do the full combo, you could have just let the doom end naturally. So like if you were using the gun and you had like deflect on attack plus doom on the special, you know, you can alternate those attacks really quickly. So if we do pick up deflect on attack, we swap, because we have this Poseidon thing now, so we're going to see a Poseidon boon soon. We swap the dash to the Poseidon thing. We doom on special. We can't attack right away because we don't have our spear. I just don't see how it could possibly be useful with the weapons we have.
Where now?
There are so many weapons where that thing is good. It's pretty much just not this one. And maybe the spear. It could be real awkward with the spear sometimes too, I think. No more casting. Okay, that was pretty fast. We did take damage, though. There's no way I'm passing up a hammer, and especially not for a Hermes buff. Especially not when we have, like, the one really good Hermes boon already. Oh my god, look at how many of them there are. And once again, I got hit while recovering from the dash. Even when the dash literally does make you invulnerable, I still find a way to get hit while dashing. Trying to intentionally dash into the projectiles as much as possible. Because they do quite a bit of damage. If you can get a good deflect off, it's usually worthwhile to do it. I managed to miss some of them there.
Useless.
Yep, once again, right there, I was dashing until, like, the frame when the projectile hit me. Ah, man.
There it is.
Okay. All changes to the special. Well, Vicious Skewer is very good, and it doesn't change anything about the function of the special. Multi-Skewer, though, with your Skewer applying Doom, seems really strong. I think we're gonna take this.
They'll fear me with this spear.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that was the right thing, because Vicious Skewer is so good. Shop with 160 money versus Ambrosia, which has actually no value. I think we go this way and just, like, buy a boon, or maybe, like, pomegranate plus food or something.
Good old Charon.
Do I want an Ares boon or do I want the heart? I'm actually not sure. I mean, like, obviously, since we've lost a death denied charge already, I'm very nervous about the amount of health I have, and the heart does increase our current HP as well as our max. But the boon is a better long-term play as long as not taking the heart doesn't cause me to lose a charge. I'm gonna take this, and we're just gonna play better. Curse of Agony is fine. I don't much care for it being base rarity. Maybe we just take Merciful End and we try to figure it out. Your Blade Rift effects last longer and pull foes in is also good. Now that we have the ability to apply more Doom, this is definitely more compelling. I'm gonna take it.
It's me or them.
Gosh, I wish I had enough money for that heart. We always see shops like this that are like Boon Heart Pomegranate when we don't have any money. And then if we show up with a ton of money, we get... Wow, okay, it just didn't execute the dash there. I can't quite figure out what the problem is with that. It sure seems like sometimes when I'm trying to do the dash version of the spin attack, he does not dash and he instead just stands in place and releases the spin. And obviously that's pretty different. Okay, that was fast. I managed to take a lot of damage, but it was quick at least. What am I doing? I only need to spin attack to apply the debuff when it's not up. I don't need to be using it all the time. And honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna...
You've received the blessing from Athena there already, little Hades. So careful all the time, that one, but here, I'll help you live a little, just in case.
Alright, he does not offer us the dash. Ocean's Bounty, I think, might be a trap. You really don't take darkness and money chamber rewards all that often. Sunken Treasure would be okay. It's an okay way of getting a lot of health back. Poseidon's Aid is not a great call, in my opinion. Although we don't have a call at all right now, so we're just like losing power, but I'm not sure how far we are from the end of the floor, and I would like to have some health. Money's good too, obviously. I think we should probably have a call.
It's high tide.
And basically here I'm just hoping to, okay. Eurydice helps. Basically just hoping to encounter a Well of Charon or something where we can buy some health.
You're just in time, Your Royal Majesty. Got something real good cooking right here that you're gonna love. You hungry? Yeah?
Am I ever? You're always so generous. And you're always cooking. And singing. Do you have many guests come by? Your place seems somewhat off the beaten path.
What, you think I get a lot of guests here? No, but I like cooking anyway. It's like singing in a way. Keep getting better the more you try. Turns out a bit different each time.
Every time we get here, I look at this and I consider, is this the time that we want to take Ambrosia Delight instead? But it's just, Refreshing Nectar's just like way better, right?
It'll be my pleasure.
Ooh,
I guess if you already got a run-defining boon, but you did not get it in the rarity that you would like, you could go the other way. I hate these guys. Stop running, you cowards! I'm trying to kill you. I have no respect for my time. You do have to actually hit them with the spear for it to do anything. Ow, I dashed into the bomb! And then of course there's more enemies. I will say these guys can be really frustrating with a melee weapon, because Sometimes they do that thing where they just, like, decide they're going to throw 3,000 bombs at their own feet, and those bombs blow up, like, immediately. You just have to have guessed that they were going to do it, because you certainly can't react to it. Okay, we cannot not take the life essence here, right? It would be suicide. I would love to get that yarn as well, but I just don't see it happening. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're taking a Hermes buff, or Hermes boon. Rarely happy to see him.
Message from Olympus for you, boss. It says, "It sure is nice up here upon this mountain, not having to escape the underworld. Come join us soon, won't you?"
Super fast cast. I don't think that that makes a lot of sense for us here, but these do nothing. I mean, pretty much nothing. Flurry cast is okay if you are sure your Blade Rift is going to hit. Because if you're going to hit once, you may as well hit 3 times. This just, like... I don't know what the hell this is for. This does nothing all of the time. I guess if you're using, like, a Bull Rush build with the shield, you're passing through enemies a lot. I don't know. Like, enemies moving slower doesn't really help you most of the time. A lot of the most dangerous stuff that happens at range anyway. And the enemies that are dangerous up close are dangerous up close. You don't want to be getting close to them. Man, Hermes is the worst god by such a huge margin. I guess we'll take Flurry Cast. It's gonna make some of our... It's gonna make our Blade Rifts sometimes deal just a silly amount of damage to bosses, right?
Godspeed.
But I don't know. None of those were any good.
Bone Hydra. It's been too long.
The Blade Rifts move entirely too fast. I was kind of hoping I could just dash through them and get a hit there. Please stop casting things at me. Oh no, wait, keep casting things at me because I can reflect them. I forgot. Alright, 2 yellow heads. That's not the most dangerous combination that we could have seen. I would certainly much rather fight the yellow ones than the red or, I've forgotten which color it is that, shoots lava everywhere. Those guys, which are not in the normal version of the fight very dangerous at all, are definitely terrifying in this version of it. Obviously, this Blade Rift thing is going to be a lot better during the later phases with the larger number of heads. Okay, the green guys are not so bad. Okay, the number of projectiles could maybe go down. Oh wait, are the green guys the... Oh no, these aren't the lava pool shooters. These are the guys who shoot the small lava things that don't seem to do anything at all, as far as I can tell. How did I get hit by that, man? Dashing directly away from it and still managing to screw up the execution somehow. Okay, that's enough.
Who needs a neck anyway?
Well, we're definitely going to lose another Death Denied charge. It feels like it is not going to be even remotely possible for me to win this run from here. But I'm trying not to get too discouraged, you know? Sometimes I feel that way and it turns out not to be true. Are there always this many of them? It just feels like a lot.
No.
I mean, our damage output is good, right? It's like, I would go so far as to say very good. Okay. Enough of you guys. Ah! Instant I go in, he becomes immune to melee attack. That really didn't deal any damage, huh? Yeah, the moment I move toward him, he just hits me. We're not... The spin gimmick is too dangerous.
Back to wherever your neck went.
Given the way a lot of the attacks in this game work, where like the attack emerges way earlier in the animation than it looks like it ought to, and you know, and they're all super fast. Like the melee weapons are so much more dangerous than the ranged weapons, which is especially rough considering that, like, you know, ranged weapons have the intrinsic value of the intrinsic bonus of being able to deal damage at range, which is not even like beyond its utility as a thing for safety, is just like it makes your life so much easier. You don't have to walk around. Who likes walking around? So what are we thinking here? So I guess I'm not going to get the Poseidon Dash. We're going to keep using the dash to trigger the Duo Boon, which is fine, except that it means that I'm moving when I don't need to move, which is how you get hit by stuff. But I guess we're just going to commit to it. So then, what boon are we looking for on our attacks? Is it just Athena? Do we force an Athena boon? You know what? It might be. And then take, like, Life Essence and Yarn. I'm not super interested in doing a bunch of extra troves in Elysium. That's just gonna get us killed. So we need to perform very, very well in Elysium. We got to get through this without losing another Death Denied charge, I think.
Another day or night in paradise.
Money versus pomegranate. I think we want the money? I don't know. I don't love either of these rewards right now.
Flame wheels.
Man, I sure wish that my blade rifts did enough damage to kill a flame wheel or whatever he's calling them, a shitty chariot enemy, before it ran completely through them. Jesus, come on. These things really, really are not fulfilling what might be one of the few purposes that they have in this area. Alright, hitting one with a spear throw is going to be way better because it's going to bounce and doom a lot of enemies. I do appreciate that the spear goes through the shields when they block it, so that you do get to hit them in the back. That is going to make things a lot easier for us. And then heart versus more money is probably the heart. I think that makes sense. Okay. It was nice of that eye to jump out directly into the trap. Alright, so throw the spear through, trigger the doom, dash to burn the doom, and then pull the spear back is the way we want to be doing things. But we have to be careful when we do that, not to dash in such a way that it makes the spear pullback not go through the enemy. Which is a definite concern, right? Because we're changing the angle. Also, it doesn't always bounce. Sometimes it doesn't bounce even to enemies that are pretty close to the target. It's a little inconsistent. It feels good, though. It feels good in these difficult rooms, which is a good, strong sign. Still don't think I'm taking a trove tracker. Man, am I emboldened enough by our performance so far? Yeah. Because, like, we gotta get to the amount of money where we could potentially buy a Kiss of Sticks, right? Hammer versus Athena. I'm gonna take this.
Yeah, might as well.
We'll make that Hammer versus Athena choice soon. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for from a hammer at this point. Part of the problem with these is that I don't have all of the relevant buffs memorized well enough. There we go. Just trying to get past him to the eye. Here we go. Guess that'll break him.
Useless.
I'll just help myself.
I could very well have done that without getting hit, but I didn't. I think I'm going to take the Athena boon, because we're going to get so much increased rarity on it. Like, we can get a real good one here. See, I didn't feel like those enemies were too much further apart on that second spear throw than they were on the first one. But it bounced one time and not the other. There might be an element of, like, the angle. Let's do that. The dash is not... It's not triggering the dooms early, it looks like. So I think I'm still... Oh, no, that time it totally did. That time that guy took 281 damage from the doom trigger. Does it have to be that I dash in a way where my dash actually makes contact with them? Yeah, because it's definitely not... It's definitely not popping... And we can experiment with it a little bit on a room that's not filled with poison death butterflies, I guess. Please explode? Okay. Okay, I think we're under control now. Stupid poison death butterflies.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, 10% damage resistance, really strong riposte, or Divine Strike. I mean, I kind of want to take Divine Strike, right? Because we just, like, don't have an attack strength buff right now, and we totally could.
Shield of Light.
And we're just all in on this whole thing. Really, it popped me... I paid gold for a trove that gives gemstones. I don't even know if we're going to do that. I don't think we are. Let's just go this way. I'm not taking damage for gemstones. Not on this run. And see there, the spear bounce missed that enemy entirely, which is a super weird thing. It bounced off of the first enemy we hit and just went in the wrong direction. So maybe it does have a maximum angle, a maximum turn that it can execute. Okay, he's down. Yeah, I'm not 100% clear on why we're sometimes me dashing seems to make the Doom pop immediately for 280 damage, which is about what we would expect, right? Because our Doom is naturally dealing 187, and then the combo damage is supposed to be 90. But only sometimes. Sometimes I throw the spear at somebody and then dash, and they still get their Doom at the normal time for the 187. And it doesn't seem to be a factor of whether the dash is touching them or not. We've had it pop for the bonus damage, even when it isn't. It could just be functioning inconsistently, or it may well be the case that I'm still misunderstanding something about it. So we could buy a Death Defiance here, and I'm inclined to do that. But also there's a shop available. And it's like buy Death Defiance and then get a pomegranate, or shop and get like boons and stuff. Death Defiance is like 120 health right now. I think I'm gonna buy this and maybe also go back to full health. And then we'll just go get the pomegranate. I think that's okay.
Can catch my breath.
90%. It is a fair amount of bonus damage, and we get to deal it a bunch of times. I think I'm going to take this, actually.
I'm grateful for this.
So we didn't need to buy health. Oh, but I do have to interact with this fountain, or it won't let me leave the room. Athena versus Dionysus. Does Dionysus help us at all here? I'm trying to think. What could he even offer me? Because with Athena, we could still get a damage boost, or a damage reduction. I think I'm going to stick with her. Oh, good.
You are more skilled than I expected, short one. A rematch is most certainly in order.
You're going to force a rematch each time I manage to defeat you, aren't you?
We and our victories are all impermanent here in Elysium. We live, such as it is, for moments such as these.
Okay, so the Minotaur is a person we're definitely going to be able to actually get spins off against, because he has a reliable pattern of movement to exploit. And we'll be able to take full advantage of our bananas damage combo, but we want to make sure that we're hitting him with attacks and dashes and stuff, because we want to keep the exposed up on him. Coward. I do hate the impervious thing. I feel like if I manage to do enough damage to him that it's like breaking the fight, you should just let me have that. The game's hard enough as it is. Man, the buffed up spear throw plus doom combo is making real short work of those Gorgons.
Well fought, Asterius.
That went really well, honestly. I took some dumb damage, but like we did a lot of damage to him very quickly.
In the name of Hades.
Alright, when you deflect attacks, it deals more damage after you take damage. So these are all kind of bad, right? It's not irrelevant, but it is irrelevant during like the important parts of the thing. We're not going to be able to get brilliant riposte damage off during the Theseus battle or during the Hades battle. But it'll matter during the rest, during the actual rooms, and we do take actual damage during actual rooms. Proud Bearing will let me fire off a cast at the start of each room. Again, like this is functionally worthless during boss battles, but it can let me cheat the beginning of fights in a way that might end up preserving an awful lot of health. Or we could go for a revenge effect, which I don't really care for. Maybe we just take this.
Athena's power.
I think those are all pretty bad, but this one might save us the largest amount of health.
Bright swords. Olympus.
It's like the beginning of a wave. Oh my god, I can't hit this eye. There we go. I'm pretty sure that one did not fully rearm, right? It did die at the last moment, I think. So I think we stopped it from regaining its weapon, and then it got hit by a trap.
Die by Baratha.
That would have been a really good time to hit with the spear. Is there a real strategy that's available for dealing with those dashy sword guys? Or is it just like sometimes they're going to hit you because they're going to dash 45 times in random directions and you can't necessarily know what they're going to do? Oh, a whole bunch of extra money. We probably have to do that. There's no Kiss of Styx available here. I think we've run out of rarity buffs. Is that right? Yes, we have spent them all. So the yarn, maybe buy yarn. Maybe we buy all 3 of these things, actually, and then we do that trove. Yeah, I think I'm into it. Get some value out of these red keys.
Why you?
Right. The traps reactivate. There are so many traps in this room is the thing. They're coming from so many different angles. Okay. The traps were actually pretty helpful there. And we took a hit, but I think that the food that dropped at the end there maybe undid all of the damage, or almost all of the damage. Are we thinking that that hammer is going to be better than the Death Denied charge we get from Patroclus? No, I do not think that. I don't know what we would get from the hammer at this point. I guess there's still the fast spin hammer buff. So that is the thing that matters.
How's Achilles doing lately, stranger? I figured you could tell me since you've all this access to him, and I don't.
He's forced to do my father's bidding, and sworn to secrecy, apparently. I don't pretend to fully understand, but all in all, I think he's doing well. I hope you'll see him for yourself.
You don't fully understand, but hope. I see. Well, if you do get to the bottom of this little mystery at some point, you'll indulge me, won't you?
I'll see what I can do about it, sir.
Kind of a mean dude.
Thanks for this.
Okay, shop versus hammer. There is a good hammer buff available. In the shop, we could potentially buy 2 boons, but there's also a real good chance that it's going to give me, like, pomegranate food darkness. I think I'm going to go after the hammer. We're going to hope that this hammer is going to give us the faster spin time. Because that'll make it so much more usable in the boss fights. Yep, that's the one we're looking for. Vicious Skewer is obviously great. Extending Jab is probably not what we want on this one, but I honestly still would like both of these.
Baraffa grows stronger. These 2.
You face the champion and me. Ready yourself.
Oh, weird. Theseus doesn't have anything to say? Is he feeling okay? I didn't actually make contact. There we go. There we go. If we can hit Theseus with the spear, it seems to bounce the Minotaur even if the throw was blocked, which is nice. Ah, this is a bad place to be. That's not the direction. There we go. But yeah, you can see what I was talking about with the duo boon, where like a lot of the time I can't get it off because we don't have our spear when we need to have it to actually attack. That was not a thing that was worth doing. I should know by now that you can't you can't do that. Ow, I really thought I was out of the way there. Yes, go over by him. I want to get you both. It's dealing some damage. It's not awesome. And again, like the impervious thing preventing a lot of our damage. It's become it's a real thing in roguelite games right now, the mechanic that prevents you from getting a build that just does huge burst damage, trivializing a boss. You know, you had that in Binding of Isaac, like with the super boss armor that Hush has, and I don't know, man, I feel like that's sort of... Maybe I'm projecting here, but it feels like that sort of goes against the thing that people like, the thing that people like about these games, is being able to build a ridiculously powerful run. Sort of shooting yourself in the foot if you disable it. Ah, Zeus. Yes, that That did feel like a bit of a test. Good call there, Zarek. Okay, just gotta apply Doom every once in a while. Not get caught being stupid. Ow. Ran out of dashes at a bad moment there. This is taking forever, though. Ow, man. That's totally exploitable. He does that way more often when you run in and hit him with a melee attack. I could probably make a plan around that. I have not been exploiting it well, but I probably could. Like during the Asterius fight, if we were to just try to find time to run over to him and get him to commit to the spin attack, we could cause him not to throw his spear quite so much, which would definitely be helpful.
You know exactly where.
We still have 2 charges left on the eye we have now. But it's so cheap. It's such an easy thing to purchase more of. We probably don't need to take the yarn. I'm gonna buy it.
Use this. Keepsakes hold power.
So what do we want here? What is the combat keepsake that we want for this particular battle? The Myrmidon Bracer's good, but also we're dashing through enemies a lot with this build, so I'm not 100% sure that, like, if we take damage, there's actually a pretty decent chance that it doesn't hit us in the front. Maybe we just go old school with the spiked collar on this one? We're probably not in Lucky Tooth territory. Well, hold on. 235 health with 2 charges remaining. No, I think we're better off with the collar, probably. Yeah, let's take it. I'm definitely a little bit nervous. This is doable, but is far from assured. And I would really like to buy the hammer in Karen's shop here. So what else does he have? He has a heart that I'll go ahead and buy right now. And then honestly some boons that I don't know that I care much about. Like do we need a Dionysus boon right now? How's that going to help me? What is Dionysus going to offer? Let's take even more heart.
Hello.
Alright, nice of them to drop food. Somebody pointed out in the comments of the last episode that they removed the excessive number of small enemies from the rooms, not to make them easier, but to make them harder, so that if you have an eye, you're less likely to get food, which totally makes sense. Ow. Okay, well, I should not have gotten hit in that room, but thankfully the food allows me to pretend I didn't. And then extra food, just because I like eating. Alright, it turns out to be a lot of damage. Our single target damage is really good. Also, I'm not using my cast at all. That's interesting. I was facing to the left when I cast all 3 of those. I'm assuming that the fact that the blade rifts are quite large made them bounce off the wall immediately, and that's why they went the direction they went in.
Should I take the trade?
No, I think we're good here. I think Blinding Flash is actually doing quite a lot of very good work for us. Do we still have an eye? No, I think both of our eyes are spent, which is a shame because this would be a really good room to have one. All right, we are not in any big hurry here. Let's just do our best to kill all these little guys, and then we can engage with the big guy. I'm trying to stand in locations where I don't think I will get poison gassed. Man, there really are just like still a huge number of dudes in this room. Alright, we got him.
Time to collect.
Feeling pretty okay about our maximum health situation at this point in the run. Is the hammer the next thing we want to buy? Probably, right? I suppose the pomegranate is maybe also valuable. Let's go here next. Alright, still taking, like, bad damage. All I really needed to do there was keep them staggered, and I was doing a bad job. The deflect dash really does let you avoid responsibility for your failures in a way that fits me very well, I think. But you still have to put a little bit of effort into its use. How did I manage to miss? Oh my god. Enemies that are not all the way on the ground, I'm having a consistent problem with. Gold pot over there? Okay. Well, we are definitely going to have enough for the hammer. And we just dash back and forth down here until the enemies finish spawning, and then we can let the spear handle it. To be perfectly honest, maybe we want to purge the flurry cast. I don't think it actually helps us, and it's a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, we're not getting anything out of that. 155 gold is definitely more valuable. Earlier than I was hoping to find it, honestly. Because we're in a position here where we could potentially buy some more Death Denied charges, right? And I think we would like to do that.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, yep, this is what we wanted here.
That should do it.
And then we could do the Athena and the pomegranate paths. I don't actually have enough money for the Kiss of Styx anymore, but I will soon. And I would like to try to find one. Wells are fairly common in here. Let's go this way.
Try this way.
There's potential for the percentage damage reduction boon, which I would love to see. And also potential to make a whole lot of money, which we have to hope for. It is a little bit of a shame that when there are multiple enemies around... Oh yeah, we're not buying anything. When there are multiple enemies around, the spear bounce makes it hard to take good advantage of the 50% chance to crit on the return of the spear, because it ends up in a weird location and doesn't necessarily come back to you directly through somebody. But I'm not going to complain too loudly, because, you know, all of the bonus damage... I'm pretty sure I almost got poisoned there.
Vermin.
I feel like vermin's such a loaded word. Okay, well, I think we've come across a final room here that's not actually super dangerous. Never mind, they added a satyr. Let's Let's try to deal with that quickly so that I don't get poisoned in a position where I'm not near a curative. Alright, I took one small bite. That's not a big deal. If this isn't the last wave, we are going to get a pretty good call off. Okay, that'll work.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Ooh, right. I forgot that she offers death defiance charges. That's really good. Let's take Last Stand. Last Stand's incredible. What an extremely good boon. I always forget that she does that.
Oh, Cerberus.
So we want to go ahead and do one more, right? Take a pomegranate, get money, get the double pomegranate, and then maybe just don't do the Artemis boon. And obviously the Artemis boon could be crit chance, and that's great, but I also would love to go into the final battle in some kind of reasonable state of health. And right now, that looks feasible. Okay, I think we've got the possums under control. If all of the rooms can just be possums from here on, I think we're gonna be okay. Possums and laser snakes, totally fine. Also, Possums and Laser Snakes is a pretty good name for a band. Go ahead, you can use that. I'm giving that one away for free. Okay, if there was a Kiss of Sticks here, I would have felt really good about our position. I would definitely have bought that over the pomegranate. Alright, please let this be the end. Cool.
More snake stones.
Yeah, the Blade Rift's pretty good against enemies who are mostly stationary, who are not driving toward you at full speed all the time. I will say that the Blade Rifts, as fun as they are, do sometimes panic me, because I'm more used to them appearing as a thing that is harmful to us than as a thing that is helpful to us, so sometimes I see them on the ground and I just like, oh god, get away! Alright, can it please be over soon? Ah, that's a bad place for that. Okay, well, the good news is he is now, oh, greater call, sure. He is now not armored, so we don't Zagreus go around, so we can stagger him out of his lasers. The bad news is I'm an idiot, and I threw my spear in the wrong direction for no reason.
Gods grant me strength.
Another 21% damage on Blinding Flash does seem pretty good.
I accept this gift.
Especially since it affects everything and not just the attack. Alright, so we have to decide here. Do we even want to do the Artemis branch? We have the possibility of purchasing another Death Defiance charge if we don't buy anything until after we do this. And then she could cough up a boon that would be very strong. I think I'm going to, at the risk of maybe overcommitting here, I'm going to do this. And maybe it's not necessary. Maybe I'm, you know, buffing us up for nothing, because honestly our single target damage is pretty good. Maybe we're just going to burn right through Hades, but I've had some pretty embarrassing performances against him in the past, and he is now, as they say, living in my head rent-free. There you go, press all the buttons. That's all you gotta do is just get him in the corner and then mash every button on your keyboard, and also scream. Scream at it for more power. There's a game that Adult Swim published called Viva Caligula. And their commercials had that in them. Like every button on your keyboard in Viva Caligula is a different attack. You don't start with them all unlocked, but over the course of the game you do get 26 different attacks. And the commercial is like just listing through them, you know, with like growly announcer voice, and then at the end of it's like, and scream at your computer for more power. And I was like, okay, that's a funny, goofy thing, but it actually was true. It would detect any microphone input, and the more noise you were making, the more sound was coming in, the greater the power buff you would get. Of course, this is the final room. Okay, we got him. The Blade Rift handled it. And we're not actually... We're going to come out of this with about the same amount of health that we went in with, so that was pretty good.
I've never come across a target I couldn't take down. I expect the same of you, you hear me? Hopefully you hear me.
Artemis is still my favorite, like, of the gods as a character. Pressure points versus support fire. She did just go ahead and offer us, by a large margin, the two best boons she had available. I think we gotta take the pressure points. Like, the amount of damage we do with Doom, every critical Doom is so huge, but she really does show up every single time, huh? And then, yeah, I mean, there's nothing in here to loot, and even if there was, it's not like it was gonna give us enough gold to buy anything extra anyway. So 446, we're looking at double pomegranate versus the Dionysus boon, and I think it's gotta be the pomegranate.
Should help keep me going.
Kind of want to just take more boon damage, or more doom damage. But I guess we're using our attack a lot too. I'm gonna take the doom damage. Flat damage increases play very, very well with the crit, and all those other ones were percentage.
The prince persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
See you, boy.
Alright, we had a very good Styx. I do feel like I'm just a lot better at Styx than I am at Elysium. This is a position from which we should totally be able to pull this off. Let's try not to put too much weight on myself here.
Varatha, I recognize its presence now. That's not just any three-pronged lance you wield. I could never stand to look at it. Once my brothers and my sisters and myself, once our foul work was done.
Does he feel bad? Do they feel bad about it? I guess I don't know a lot about the myth of the slaying of the Titans.
You mean once you'd chopped up your cruel and overbearing Titan parents, right? Shame you threw it out. It's quite useful.
Perhaps the fates decided that its wielders ought to all eventually wind up on its receiving end. Come then, let us see what the great Achilles has taught you.
See, I guess that makes sense. Zagreus used the word parents there. I don't usually think of that story as a story about children slaying their parents, but rather about people slaying primordial forces from whence they emerged. I suppose you would have conflicted feelings about it, though, because it is really both of those things. Ah, you fool! Oh god, his spin attack is way better than mine. I suppose there's something that we're supposed to probably be learning here from the fact that the, wow, that did 1,000 damage! Supposed to be something that we are to learn here about how the developers feel the weapons are balanced from the fact that the third and fourth bosses of the game both use spears.
You waste your strength. Why do you keep up this foolishness?
Yeah, our damage is like very good. I know I've said that on a bunch of our builds recently, but I think it's truer here than it has ever been. Nope, nope. Aha! Saw you coming. Ow. Ow! Oh, you asshole, and I can't cancel it to save the remaining bar. So that's a real downside of these calls that take a long time to get the full effect out. That Hades is a coward. And that really sucks that they, I'm just gonna... First of all, that these guys are a special version of the archer, and that once they start firing, they never ever stop firing, which is a thing I don't think I had realized. But secondly, that they came out and they started aiming at me at staggered times, so that dodging one of them was going to guarantee the other one got to hit me. I'm glad that we have the Athena dash, because I think I would have gotten hit by that otherwise. Really? Okay. Things that are slightly off the ground. My old nemesis. Okay.
Let's finish this then.
Well, we got through him before we lost our first charge. That's a pretty good sign, I think.
No.
I tried to get a little fancy there and do a spin attack dash through the ow. Do a spin attack dash through the initial wave, but that did not work. Oh, damn it. I didn't even see that there was an urn there because it was inside the scenery. Oh yeah, 1,000 damage crits. Oh, I'm so tired of the imperviousness. Interesting that he didn't do the cast. Is that the first time we've seen him do this? Where he pulls up the urns but then doesn't do his circle attack to break them? It's actually pretty effective at constraining my use of the play space. He should do this more often. It's a good strategy. Okay, we still have one charge left. We got it. We got it. It's good. Ow. Damn it. I'm trying really hard to... We got caught on the scenery in a really unfortunate way there.
You stubborn. You shrug off death as though it means nothing to you.
Well, I mean, in this place, that is literally the case. He didn't have anything to say very slowly as he sunk into the pool. Apparently that was the fastest we've ever done. And it's our first 2-heat victory, right? Because we blew the last one pretty tremendously. Oh, sure.
Sure.
Yes, he has that.
The often dying prince, having achieved his purpose, then reflects upon his life and deeds, remembering his many past demises with such vivid clarity that this occurs. Again?
Well, but this time it's my fault, because I thought so vividly about dying and being drawn into the blood pool.
Well, that was interesting.
Alright, let's see what everybody has to say this time. Maybe some more stuff about Hypnos' brother.
Welcome to the House of Hades, where death is our life.
Or lack of life.
Back shortly before you did.
Oh yeah? From where?
Father, I met an oak nymph called Eurydice. You know her name, I think. Is it really true what happened between her and Orpheus? They say you almost let her out, so why not me?
Bah. Orpheus is a talented musician and a fool. I knew he would never get his beloved wife out of here, the same as you.
So you tricked him, or maybe offered him a deal in bad faith. No matter. What's it going to take to waive the separation order between them?
That's non-negotiable, boy. Waiving a separation order. That's a veritable fortune in dues alone. Off the table. Now go mind your own affairs and leave the waiving and the ordering to me.
Also, it doesn't sound like she wants it to be waived. Maybe we should have some respect for that? I don't know. Achilles is elsewhere.
Hello there. Pray tell me something, Zagreus. How is she lately, Eurydice, I mean. Her hair? Fall colors or full bloom? Her poise? As proud and supple as the oak?
She's all right, Orpheus. Seems comfortable within her little place in Asphodel. The only thing that seems to bother her at all is when I mention you. Is there nothing you can do to patch things up?
Alas, I cannot change the past, my friend. So no. As you can plainly see by now, I'm dead to her. Rightfully so, at that.
But that's just a technicality. I mean, you're here, she's there. So what if you're not breathing anymore? You have all eternity ahead of you. Don't you want to see her again?
Don't I want to see my Eurydice again? Why, yes. That more than anything, my friend. Provided she wanted to see me. I tried once to disturb her everlasting rest, as you well know. And that did not pan out as I had hoped.
You're not making this easy, Orpheus.
Well, I mean, at least he seems to care whether or not she wants to see him. Weird that he's the only one who does.
What's new, contractor?
Ooh. I don't know which songs are which. Hold on, let's see if the trader wants our diamonds.
Greetings, broker.
I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. I think I'm not gonna buy the purple key. I mean, we could buy the purple key. There's still... yeah, alright. There's still one more aspect to unlock. So no new sheet music for us.
What do these shades have to say for themselves?
Who's to say there isn't another Death Beyond? No, sorry, buddy. Turtle's all the way down from here.
Hey, room. I'm back.
Alright, do we want to turn on Fated Authority? Because we could pull all of the... or almost all of the darkness out of Olympian favor and get our Fated Authority back. Or we could just do this, I guess.
That's beyond my means.
Alright, well... my guess is that this is also going to cap at 25%, and then from there we have literally nothing to do with our darkness except to pour it into Fated Authority. So, as I'm saying, I believe there is only one aspect left to buy. Oh, apparently I only needed one key for it, though. So I think we're gonna... maybe hold off on that until the darkness comes back to the gun, because it's just not like a very exciting aspect. We have everything else. I don't know what we want to do from here. I feel like we've sort of seen everything. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do the Zeus aspect, because while we have seen everything, we haven't actually seen this be very good. Do we want to spend the keys on it? That's a pretty significant, like, percentage increase, and like the Blade Rift, this is a thing where you get a lot of hits very quickly. I don't know. I'll think about it. But that probably needs to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I, despite some real iffy play there, managed to pull it out, and let's hope that that bodes well for future runs. So come back next time on Monday, because tomorrow is Noida Day, and we'll see if I can't maybe make something out of this Zeus aspect. And we'll see you then.